Ladies and gentlemen and friends, this is Puji Pujiono again from Rumah Resiliensi Indonesia, being held in conjunction with Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction and the 7th session being held here in the beautiful island of Bali, Indonesia. And we are really privileged this time to have the leadership of the Indonesian Agency for Meteorological and Geophysics. I think the precise words will be introduced shortly. I will ask Ibu Dwikorita and Pak Bambang to introduce themselves, as well as introducing the agency. This is one agency that's at the core of disaster risk reduction in Indonesia. Ibu Dwikorita, thank you for joining us this time, and Pak Bambang, welcome. I would like to invite you to introduce yourself and introduce BMKG at that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before introducing ourselves, I would like to greatly acknowledge to Bapak Puji Pujiono, the Grandmaster of Disaster Management in Indonesia. So we are very proud to be invited by our Grandmaster. Thank you very much, Pak Puji Pujiono.
It's really humbling, but go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I'm Dwikorita Karnawati, the head of the Agency for Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics. And I'm here together with our Director for Earthquake and Tsunami Warning Center. Well, the main duty of our agency, according to the national law in meteorology, climatology, and geophysics, especially one is providing information related to meteorology, climatology, and geophysics to support the safety of Indonesian people, especially the safety due to various potential disasters like those extreme weather, extreme climate, also the surge in the ocean, as well as for the earthquake and tsunami. That's the first task. The second task is also to provide information and services related to meteorology, climatology, and geophysics to support the economic and welfare development of Indonesia. So we are serving various sectors like agriculture, infrastructure, energy and mining, also maritime and tourism, etc.
Right,
That's
right.
all.
Now, since we are talking about disaster risk reduction in this moment, Pak Bambang, could you share with us what is the Indonesian's leadership in terms of earthquake and tsunami? I understand you actually one of the very important hub in that regard. Could you just share briefly what your office, Indonesia, in this regard, leading the region in the earthquake and tsunami early warning?
Okay, thank you, Pak Puji. Yeah, yeah. As you know, BMKG not only for the national, for the information earthquake and tsunami, but also for the ASEAN countries also.
Right, right.
And on the other side, we also as a tsunami service provider for Indian Ocean countries. We have 23 countries should be served, yeah, for tsunami warnings.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's such an important role in which you would emit, early warning, and the whole country will benefit from it, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep this country up to their standard in terms of communicating with you in early? Do you have a periodical exercise or something like that that get them together? I mean,
yes, of course. I think almost every year or 2 years, yeah, we have meeting together, yeah, with some TSP in Indonesia, not only Indonesia, in India and Australia also, and then the others NTVC from the Indian Ocean. We
NTVC being National Tsunami
National
Warning
Yes,
Center,
yes.
right? Because our audience may not be familiar with this
Oh
abbreviation.
yeah, sorry.
So those are national centers for
Yes,
tsunami
national center for
warning,
each
yeah?
country
Okay,
in Indian
okay.
Ocean. We together, to discuss about the earthquake and tsunami, how to manage for the mitigation also, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And what about this? I heard there's also regional level exercise where you simulate tsunami.
Yeah.
And hundreds of thousands of people would act upon the early warning that's simulated.
Yeah,
Is it still going on?
Yeah, we work together with the
IOWAVE program.
Yeah, IOWAVE
right.
IOWAVE,
This is
for the
WTO section
exercise.
exercise.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And
So
at
when was the last time it happened, Ibu, the IOWAVE exercise?
It was before pandemic in 2018, yeah.
yeah,
Just
but
right before the pandemic, right?
20
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, we also
In 2020,
yeah,
we
but
have
in pandemic also we doing
we
like that
conducting
using
that.
using a
Yeah.
virtual.
Virtual,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
That's
There you go. There
the
you
last time in 2020. And I would like to add that how we keep our services to be in the international quality standard.
Right.
Actually, under the Indian Ocean tsunami warning, we have 28 countries need to be protected.
Okay.
And to do that, we have the inter-coordination government group on Indian Ocean tsunami warning and mitigation system,
Right.
which take important role for maintaining and improving the quality through several official meeting. Apart from that exercise, we do have regular exercise, but for the strategy, the evaluation, it is conducted regularly every year.
Intergovernmental level.
Intergovernmental coordination group that's under International Oceanic Commission, UNESCO.
Right.
That's
So now let's segue back into BMKG overall. Ibu Dwikorita, for the first time in history, the global platform has now crossed the equatorial and moved to the global south. It used to be in Geneva and the northern part, but now it's here and Indonesia is hosting. Right?
Yes.
And then this Rumah
Resilience.
Resiliency Indonesia is being held in conjunction with that.
Right.
According to you, Ibu Dwikorita, how important is this global event taking place in Indonesia to push the agenda that BMKG has?
Right. Indeed, it is very important. I believe that you also being aware that Indonesia is like the full set diverse disasters, disasters cases. Yeah,
Right.
It is like a laboratory of disasters. That means we have improving knowledge and experience regarding the disaster risk reduction as well as mitigation and anticipation. So this event is very crucial for us, not only BMKG, but also for BNPB, for also all actors in disaster risk reduction, to show cases, for showing the cases and for sharing the experience, knowledge, and to create or to mainstreaming Indonesian thoughts to create the trend, new approach for disaster risk reduction with the flavor of diversity of Indonesian disaster. So that's very strategic also for the leadership of Indonesia in the disaster risk reduction.
Excellent, thank you. Now, Pak Bambang, on your side, on earthquake and tsunami particular areas, right? What has been the latest progress that you have? I mean, advancement in the not necessarily detection, but prediction, trend projection, and also. What's the latest advance that you have at your office?
Yeah, for the earthquake prediction, until now, I think the expertise or the world, not yet implemented for the earthquake prediction. It's because it's very difficult until now. Yeah, this is our challenges.
It's
the accuracy problem.
Yes.
So now what we have done is to dense our networks. To dense our network, not only for the seismic, also for the monitoring water level. We work together from the BIG and also now BRIN.
Okay.
Yeah.
BRIN being the National Research Institute of Indonesia.
We work together with them because in BMKG is one part of the upstream. BMKG as the coordinator from that.
So in essence, you're integrating your services
Yeah,
with that of other agencies.
Yes,
in
in our room,
integration,
we
yeah.
already integrated not
Yep.
only for the seismic, also for the water level,
Yeah,
volcanic
yeah,
also. Yeah.
So this is under the umbrella of Indonesia One Data Policy and Indonesia One Map Policy. Now, Ibu Dwikorita, very quick question to you. We are heading towards the midterm review of Sendai Framework next year. And the target G of Sendai Framework is particularly on early warning. How many people have received and reached by early warning, and how many people actually being saved by early warning? Question to you. What has been the progress that BMKG, being a principal agency, in fulfilling the requirement of that target G, Ibu Dwikorita?
Well, the progress is actually, apart from the innovation,
Yep.
we are not conducting technological innovation.
Sure.
That's not enough at all. So now we have innovating our approach by implementing the socio-technical approach.
Social technical approach,
Yeah,
okay, which is
integration of the technical innovation plus social cultural innovation. So that means we accelerating or magnifying the efforts for community-based early warning system.
Sure.
So we develop also the international standard ISO
for the early warning provision.
Yeah,
But this is-
community-based. The province
Ibu Dwikorita,
community-based.
this is the issue. A lot of documentation has been done on the input side. How many towers has been done, how many programs, how many approach, how many technique, and so on. But the midterm review would require, at the end of all that, how many people are actually saved
that's
by
a
early
problem.
warning.
Yeah.
Now the question, how challenging is it for you to account the result rather than the input?
I always
I believe you cannot do it yourself because
No,
you're
no,
the
no.
provider of the
No,
warning,
of
right?
course, yeah.
So
Although-
how do you tackle that, Ibu?
Okay, although we are the provider, but I keep reminding all our staff, including our partners,
Yes.
we are not working single, yeah.
Of course, of course.
The target, the success depend on the victims. So I should mention, keep 0 victims.
All right.
Whatever the advance of the technology, if there are still victims, we are not successful.
Okay.
So that's
or at
why
least the success
community-
is not complete.
No, yeah.
You
it
aiming
should be
for zero casualty.
So the lack is about how to empower the last mile.
Okay.
So that's why I learned from you actually. To be frankly.
So this is the
yeah,
end-to-end
it is your-
early warning. That was when I was
your
much
lesson.
younger then.
So actually now is how the community could be empowered. So
Right.
that's why we have a SLG, Sekolah Lapang Gempabumi.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the earthquake field school.
That's
Yep.
good.
Together with the local government, and then we work together with the UNESCO, IoTIC UNESCO for the tsunami ready community,
Right.
as well as of course always with the BNPB,
Correct.
BNPB, and BPBD. So we are just like one screw in the big
One very important screw in the big machine.
in the big system.
No, I imagine that this is quite challenging for you, not only
Of
for
course,
you, but for
everyone. That's
Correct.
true.
Because I believe it takes a village to make the early warning works, right?
Yeah.
And our challenge is not to account what we do, but the result. That's what Sendai we committed to.
Yeah.
So with that, colleagues and friends, this is very brief conversation of very, very interesting topics. We can spend 3 days on this, but we have only 15 minutes, unfortunately. So Ibu Dwikorita and Pak Bambang, thank you very much for
Thank
spending
you very
your time
much.
in the Rumah Residensi Indonesia. And this is Puji Pujiono, again from Rumah Residensi. I will see you next time in the next conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih Pak Puji, luar biasa. Oh.